There's people in the hotel, you know. They can take pictures.
That's okay. I'm very photogenic.
It's a brutal thing she did, getting us all to come here at a time like this.
You're Francois Cormont's husband. I'm a big fan. Wow, you're a lucky man.
Don't go very far. You know we're all meeting you in the afternoon.
I can't promise.
It's for Frankie!
People seldom say no to Frankie.
She's a star.
I wanted you to come here because I want you to meet my family.
My mother thinks she knows everything. She has all these plans, you know.
She's in a hurry.
Eileen and Paul, Paul and Eileen.
Jesus.
What?
Open it. I've got news for you. Eileen has brought a friend.
We will see.
The film is called Frankie. It's about a family on a vacation in a small town in Portugal. There's a crisis that's brought them together, and the film takes place in one day, and there's 9 stories. Each family member brings their own drama to the location and to the story. My co-writer, Mauricio Zacharias, is Brazilian, and his family is from Portugal, and he recommended that we consider this town of Sintra. Sintra is about 30 minutes outside of Lisbon, and it's a very magical place. There is a lot of castles, and it's almost like a fairy tale setting. And when I went to visit, I was very moved by the location, really viscerally, emotionally, and I felt that I could place this story there, and it was wonderful. In 2016, I made this film, Love is Strange, and I got an email from Isabelle Huppert saying how much she liked the film, and I thought it was a joke. Actually, I thought someone had written it in her name, but it was actually Isabelle Huppert, and we started a conversation, and I was interested in finding a project that we might work on together, and I would never be inclined to make a film in France with Isabelle because I wouldn't know enough. But somehow this vacation idea felt right because it was a film in which we were both traveling. We were both somewhere that wasn't our home. So we really wrote the part for her and with her in mind and with her voice, and having known her a bit, I think we understood what would be natural to her. I think when you make a film, you actually make 3 films. You write a script and you think that's the movie. And then you shoot a film and you think, oh, that's the movie. And then actually the movie that the audience sees is the 3rd film, the one you edit. And in every stitch, I think that being the filmmaker is what I am most. I'm not the writer or the director, I'm the person who's going to tell this story through cinema and through actors. And so all those things come together, and writing is usually just a part of that. I also work so closely with Mauricio, this co-writer, and in many ways, he's the dominant kind of voice in the draft of the script because he writes the first draft, and he kind of irons out the scenes in a lot of ways. So there's just a long process. Ultimately, all that matters is what ends up in the film. I'm an American filmmaker who has an Ecuadorian husband and who has a Brazilian co-writer and a Romanian script supervisor and a Portuguese cinematographer, and so my life is quite non-specifically American in a very everyday kind of way. So I think often and this is my 7th feature. My first feature had a Vietnamese lead. My second feature had a Russian lead. My 3rd feature had a Danish lead. So I've always been interested in different voices and different experiences. So I think the film is very naturally kind of, I don't know, this family looks like my family in some ways. I had an idea about doing a film about a family on a vacation. There was a film I'd seen about 10 years ago by an Indian director named Satyajit Ray. It was a film made on a Himalayan mountaintop, and I loved the structure. It was 9 stories, 1 day, and nature being the biggest part of the film. So I think when you go traveling, even when you're with people who you're very intimate with, sometimes something different happens. You're almost in a magical place where you've left behind your everyday, and something very essential about intimacy comes out. I'm in my early 50s, and I've been affected by illness and being around. I had a very dear friend who had breast cancer, and being with her in the last years of her life, I was struck by how it wasn't what I expected. I think you think illness will all be about the end of life, but actually life is stronger than that. And everything is going on with such passion until the last moment, and I think that passion is a big part of this film.
And people still come here to wash themselves in this miraculous water.
Yeah, they do, because the water is said to cure people of all maladies.
I don't know what after Frankie means. There's no after Frankie for me.
I'm going to ask you both at least to pretend that you accept my fate. For the sake of this trip, for the family.
I want us to have a good time, which for me now means just time together.